Been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I am Van. I'm here with the Miss Micca, and this is On Point with Van and Micca, episode number 25. We got 25 shows under our belt, and I want y'all to make sure that y'all go and follow the channel as well. All right? Make sure y'all do just that. Hit the like button for me. That's the only price of admission for our live streams. And if you're feeling extra generous, do me a favor and share this video on Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook group, X, and wherever else you can share it. Just make sure that you tag me and or Micca so that we can show you some love. And I've been following everybody who have been reposting my live streams on X. So if you're on X right now and you repost my live stream, I'm definitely going to give you a follow back. I know that's not a whole lot, but I'm just not the type person that do a whole bunch of following people. Why? Because I really don't follow people's channels all like that. I'm not really on social media all like that unless I'm looking for something to discuss with you guys on this channel. All right, let's get to it. What's going on, Miss Micca?
Oh, it's Monday.
It's the Monday.
It's Monday.
Hey, Van, Dana here. I'm ready. Hey, Dana. Welcome. Dana is ready. What does that mean, Micca, when she says she's ready?
Depends.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened?
Nothing. It just depends.
You just start busting out laughing. Now I want to know what the inside joke is.
Nope. These nice folks, I'm not going to do that to them. No.
Oh, Lord.
It's a little jokey joke on the inside.
Oh, for what we talked about. Let's go. Yeah, lock in. Let's get to it. All right, guys. So y'all saw the ad that came on right before we went live talking about the YouTube coaching. Make sure y'all hit me up about that, man. Shout out to everybody who've been joining over the week. Y'all have been amazing. Also, much love to everybody who allowed me to be a little bit vulnerable on my channel on Sunday, talking about situation going on in my house, you know, with me being conservative and wifey being liberal, and you know what I mean, us bumping heads, but I handled it. You got daggone right. I handled. I said, woman. That's what I said. I said, woman.
You said. That's one of my favorite skits.
I didn't have to look up the steps.
No, you know what I'm talking about, Keenan and Peele? Was it Keenan?
Oh,
Peele?
I said, you know what I said? I said, bitch.
You said that?
That's hilarious. And you know what's so funny about that is it's so true, man. It's so true.
I looked at her eyes in the depths of her soul.
And what you say to her? I said all right, so we ain't gonna play around too much. These people, we can be playing all day, and the next thing you know, they're gonna be like, they play too much. They ain't give us no news. Well, this is what we do on the On Point with Van and Micca show. Hey, do me a favor though. Let me know where y'all are watching this joint. Are you headed from work, headed back home, or are you already home? You know what I mean? Let us know where you're in, what state you're in, what country you're in. I want to know that too. I want to know all of that. I call my wife woman, and she lose it. Well, she must not be a woman, Shane. She must not be a woman.
No,
might
that's
want
when
to
you're
check
putting
for
your
a
foot down. When you're putting your foot down, a woman, and you use that finger, make me a sandwich. That you really want to make her mad, say sandwich.
I say it all the time. I listen. She just laugh at me. I think my wife probably think I'm a simp or something. She be like,
yeah.
I get all the black girl attitude from my wife. My gracious.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I know you was having such a real moment, but as soon as you said, I said, "You really an angry black woman?" I screamed.
That pissed
Oh
her
my
off too.
god! I
That pissed her off
screamed.
too.
I said, "Oh, you done did it now."
Micca, let me tell you something. She cussed my ass out. All because I was repping.
Oh,
I did it wasn't even that I was repping Trump. It was that I wasn't trying to give into the tomfoolery of you trying to give me little facts about Trump. I don't want to hear about the little facts that make him look
no,
bad.
it was so funny because while you were telling the story, this is you. This is a credit to you being a good storyteller. Like I saw the whole thing in my head. And I was imagining you on the porch, and when you was like, "That's disrespectful," I heard the voice of every
I felt, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's my dog, though. Let me tell y'all something, man. That's the only person that can get away with talking to me like that. I promise.
No, sometimes stuff gotta be said. Even to the people that you love. Like you gotta let them know, like you will not.
Oh
You will
yeah.
not.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing though, and she understood. I mean, she and I what just yesterday, because the fight happened on Saturday. On Sunday, she and we sat on the deck and you know what I mean, she apologized for her part. I apologized for my part. We loved on each other. You know what I mean? We watched the movie later, ate some good food, you know what I mean, and all that other stuff. But it got a little heated. It was just, I don't know. I talked to my son Jojo about it because Jojo and Naya both saw the show from yesterday. And Naya called me and she said, um, Daddy, I seen your live stream. I said, "Oh, you did, baby girl. What you think?" She said, I mean, I might just be coming at this a little biased, but you know, with you being my dad and my mom being, you know, talking about my mom and everything, um, I didn't like seeing some of the comments of people calling her crazy for being a liberal and all that other stuff. I said it was within context, baby girl. They was talking about when you have that liberal mindset, that's you're just a weirdo. They're not calling your mom that. They're just saying that when you have that, you're just deranged against Trump for no reason, but for the talking points that they give you on social media or mainstream media, then it's kind of silly. I said, but if you want me to take it down, if you feel uncomfortable by that being up, you know I do it. She said, nah, I talked to my husband about it. He gave me more context as to why is a good thing. And he said, and your dad didn't disrespect her the entire live stream. And I don't think
No.
I did, but you know, her husband talked to her and he was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just feeling some type of way.
See, but see what you said? The husband talked to her. Right? So the man another man, especially another man that she is supposed to trust, and I'm assuming she does trust because she
And
married him.
respect. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
You know, brought logic to him is like, hey, because women, you know, we can get emotional. So yeah, like no, 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 calm down about it. This is exactly what happened, and this is what it is, and yada yada yada. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, but I ain't gonna lie, I was screaming
How you still laughing at something that was hurting? Oh, wow. Y'all
because
see that?
you send everybody on a roller coaster. You 1 minute you like, yeah, yeah. But now I put my foot. I said what? I was dying. I said, "Go ahead, babe." We were all rooting for you over here.
Well, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Hey, as soon as I said something about it, my son
Hey,
pulls up. What's
JoJo.
up, LFR Jojo? Yeah. Shout out to my son pulling up. Thank you
Your
so much
son
for the
rich.
super
Look
chat,
at
big
him.
dog.
$10. Damn.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. Getting way better numbers than his dad on social media.
That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. Show that you're greater than your dad.
No,
Just
show
like I
that
raised you.
shows that your daddy taught you well.
Absolutely. That's my guy right there.
Mhm.
All right, you ready to get into our topics?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's do it. Hey guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all keep the trolls at bay. Do not block them inside the chat. Let them communicate. Let them get whatever they got to say off their chest. All right. All right. For the first conversation we're going to have, we're going to talk about this brother right here. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I'm going to play this so that we can have a good conversation. And then we're going to come to the next topic and the next topic and the next topic and the next topic. Here we go.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? That's just how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
All right. Go ahead. What you think about this brother? The mayor. Well, he's the mayor of Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What you think about what he just now said about making sure? Well, everything he said. Now I'll follow up.
Yeah, I think absolutely nothing of it because these are politicians. I think absolutely nothing of it. Okay, every major city is mostly run by liberal black people. Okay.
Women.
But yeah, I hadn't got to the 92% yet, but you're right. Yeah. And so with that being said, that means absolutely nothing. They're still liberals. So just because you share a skin tone, okay, doesn't mean anything. And let's be clear. That man has ruined that city even more than it was already ruined. Okay. From Lori Lightfoot, from
Beetlejuice.
her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one with the high top fade. Everybody else had to stay inside with COVID, but she could go get her high top fade shade. Yeah, her. Yes. Here's the thing about that. All of these politicians will say, oh, it's black this, it's black that. Meanwhile, they're not really doing anything black. They just happen to be black because the Democrats like to grandstand and, put forth a black face, but it has nothing to do with being black. Because if so, Chicago would not be a sanctuary city pushing out all those black folks, doing more for immigrants than they ever done for black folks in that.
I'm with you on that. When I looked into Brandon Johnson, something that he did say that's kind of consistent to what he just now said in this video is that he spends tens of thousands of dollars on black businesses for the most outlandish sugar honey iced tea. He'll go get a haircut, and his haircuts are mid at best. He'll go get a haircut and drop $200 to $500 simply because
I guess so. When you're
barber.
fleecing the people.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that like purchasing votes? Like almost like he'll go and get a suit made at a black tailor and pay like $8,000 more than the asking price just so he can put money in their pocket. And it all comes from taxpaying citizens in Chicago who I'm sure
exactly.
didn't
Yeah. When you're fleecing the people, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm surprised that this, him talking about that haircut, that makes black people look bad. If you ask me, usually black barbers is on point. I thought maybe, he let the Latinas cut it, because, Latina, she like to cut hair, but,
Well, here's the thing, though. He never said that he never really said that he shop black business. He said minority business, minority owned.
Yeah, see, that's that word you got to watch, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell people it's two things. You have to watch minority and people of color. Okay.
Yep.
Make them say black. That's how you know if it's for you.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I was listening to this guy by what's his name? Let me see if I can find it right quick. But I was listening to some of his videos on YouTube, and apparently he's this big time teacher and scholar in the Moorish community. And the brother name is, what's his daggone name? I'm trying to find this joint, man. Hopefully I can find it right quick. But the whole thing is, this dude teaches people to get away from the black and white thing. He teaches people to, like, he says, for one, and this is what the Moors was I'm
I know
teaching.
who the
and
Moors
you can
are.
I'm sure you do, but they was teaching that, did the slave trade really happen?
Oh, you don't look, you don't yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the numbers.
yeah,
It's the numbers.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that they teach you. That's why I don't like to stay there. Right? That's why I tell people not to stay focused on slavery. Because there's a lot of things that they don't say, they don't teach, that they push up, you know. So at the end of the day, if they really told you the truth, and if they really told you the real numbers, and if they really told you what you should be calling yourselves,
Who's going to tell us what we really should be calling ourselves? I mean, how does it benefit us to know what we
well,
really should be talking about?
we all are Americans, right? Because
Yes,
your nationality
that part.
attaches you to a land, okay? Black, white, whatever, all that made up stuff, we're all Americans. However, when you say things like African American, I mean, I can clearly see that you may not be indigenous to a land, right? However, you and generations of your family have been here. So you are technically indigenous to this land,
Facts.
right? And so when you say things like African American, you separate yourself. Anytime you hyphenate it, that's two, right? Just like when a woman wants to hyphenate her name, that's two, because she's recognizing this and that. So when you say African American, you are saying first Africa, America second. And that's why you're not being seen as such. You're saying the wrong verbiage.
Oh yeah, you're describing yourself with a country that you have never been to, and your ancestors probably wasn't there first either. But who taught us this? And why do we believe it so much? Have we been that deeply indoctrinated? Have we just constantly believe these lies? And then we teach them and we allow them in our school systems? This is crazy, man. I don't like
Mhm.
it. I
Well, see,
got
I grew
questions,
up with
god
the
dang it.
Pledge of Allegiance. I grew up with the Pledge of Allegiance. So, you know, I have, you know, a affection for this country. Even though my grandparents are first generation, their parents are immigrants, right? So my great grandparents. But no matter what, once you become naturalized or whatever process you went through, you're American.
You're now American.
So
Yeah.
all that other stuff, like everybody has a story. I don't care if you are Native American, because my grandmother is Native American, right? But her family came from the Midwest to Maryland. Okay, because her tribe is from I think like Montana or somewhere over there, right? So with that being said, everybody has a migration. I get it. But when you've spent generations somewhere, you are indigenous to that land.
What if there was no slave ships and there was no Mayflower and they're just telling us that so we can pay taxes?
And they tell us a lot of stuff to pay taxes. and what if the maps are wrong? And what if yeah.
We can do this all day.
Oh yeah, because nine times out of 10 is true. But see, that's the thing. And that's why they took civics out of school, right? Because they don't want you to understand the government. That's why they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of school. So you don't have an allegiance to America. Most of the kids now grow up hating America, right? If you're saying allegiance to something every day, you're more than likely going to have an allegiance to it. You might have some issues with it here and there because nothing is perfect, right? You can be in a relationship with somebody and say 80-20, right?
Right. Right.
Same thing with the country. I don't like everything that America does,
Right.
but I do love the country that I'm in.
Right.
I think some things can be done better. So what?
I bet people will get back to loving our country if people come from foreign soil and start bombing the hell out of us, and they get on our land and start running up in our houses, and then we start banding together to whoop their asses together. We defeat them, and then we'll feel like, you know what, we are together. I don't think it should take anything like that in order for us to band together, but I think that that's probably the only, because back in the day, let me tell you something. So many people used to go off to war and to fight for our country, and they knew that they had a high likelihood of passing, of dying, and they was rushing to join the military. Rushing. I'm talking about they felt so patriotic because they wanted to defend our nation against other nations. They was like, nah, we fighting for freedom over here, Jack. And that's why a lot of people and black people be like, man, white people, they never had it. They never had our best interests at heart. They never had this. They never had that. They always been out for us, not realizing that we fought with them shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, to make sure that we preserve our liberties. And
Yeah.
that's something that
And they also don't tell you a lot about the Confederacy. Okay. There's a lot of negatives and a lot of positives. Okay.
I thought it was all negatives with the Confederacy
Yeah,
based
and
off
that's
of what I
because
was told.
that's what that's what they like to tell you, They like
Yeah.
to tell you that it was just all about slavery, right? When honestly and truthfully, if you look at a lot of the white soldiers, they were being forced to go. They were being dragged out of their homes and forced to go fight for property that they'll never have. Okay. There's something on Netflix called Jones. I think it's called Jones County or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just showed. I think he was like a doctor on the battlefield during the Civil War, and it just showed a lot of young white boys were being thrown to go fight for rich, aristocrats, because most white people were poor then. You had to have a lot of money to have slaves. So this notion that all white people were just, I have a slave, please, please.
Yep. Yep. And then immigrants back in those days, especially, was treated like sugar honey iced tea, whether they were
Yes,
white or not.
the Irish, they
Treated
that's the main
horrible.
points of gangs of New York. I mean, it's a lot of history that they don't teach. That happened to, yes, indigenous people, people of color, white people.
You just now use that term again. You said I should gonna be weary of anybody that used that term. You just used it, so I'm weary
No,
of
I
you.
said politician.
You said
When I
people
say
of
people
color.
of color, yeah, I'm literally talking about everybody that's of color. But if
But
a politician uses it, they're trying to trick you.
I need to start diving more into history, because I think we are all indigenous. I think most of us are. And I think, honestly, like you just now said, whether we are or we not, once we become American citizens, when you talk to anybody that's from Asia or any Asian country, or um or any, is it Hispanic country? Is it Hispanic or Latino country? How you say, is it Latino?
You talking about Latinos?
Yeah,
Okay,
if it's Venezuela,
so
Puerto
Latin, so
Rico,
you got Latin
Mexico,
America, then you got
El
Hispaniola.
Salvador.
You got Hispaniola. So my family, like in the Caribbean, all that's Hispaniola, right? And then you have Latin America, which is
Okay.
like Central America, Mexico, all that stuff.
But when they come here and they become Americanized, they call themselves Americans.
Yes.
And they be waving around that flag too. They be happy.
Yes. Why not? Like if you actually want, to be an American, you're going to assimilate. And that's just
As you should.
Yeah. If I was to go live in Dubai, I would assimilate. All right. Like I don't understand what people don't understand about this. Right. When I know I have a couple of friends that moved to
Did you say when you was in Dubai?
Indonesia. Indonesia, yeah. When I go to Dubai, I assimilate. And I'm in Abu Dhabi, I wear a head wrap, all of that. Yes. Yes, because that's their culture. And I have respect for other people's cultures, whether I am a part of that culture or not. If that's their culture, okay, then that's their culture. And that's a beautiful mosque right there. And you have to take off your shoes in certain places. And yeah. So I respect other people's cultures and values and things like that.
As you should.
So why wouldn't I expect, people to do that here in America? Like, respect America.
Americans don't even respect Americans
That's because they're being taught not to. And that's what I
he-
mean by taking the Pledge of Allegiance out.
but here's the thing too, and I'm glad you said that. At some point, it became cool for politicians to speak against our country, not speak against our government, not speak against our ways of doing things, but they speak against our country. Like our president, our last president, 46th president, this dude was giving commencement speeches at HBCUs and telling them that our country number one problem was racism and white supremacy. He was telling these American scholars at these HBCUs that, hey, the struggles didn't start. The struggles ain't even start yet. You got to go out there and work 10 times as hard in order to acquire any type of success because of racism and white supremacy. Come on, bro. Like the president is talking bad about the country. What can you do at that point?
Yeah. And vice versa, right? They go and tell the little white kids that they're oppressors and that they should, give up this and that. It's just, it's all like, when I tell you liberalism just is a disease, it's a disease because it creates division. And it really just ends up in war and genocide. Look at Stalin. Okay, look at all the countries that have adopted liberalism. Like that's what it. And to be honest, they like to talk about the H word, because I don't know if that's a thing on YouTube now.
Hillary?
Nah. What they call Trump. What they call Trump.
Haberdasheries.
Yeah. The one from Germany, that man.
Oh, the one that say
yeah, him. Yeah.
My heart goes out to everyone.
Yeah. So they like to liken him to the right when he's actually a leftist.
Man, let me tell you something.
Like, you got to understand history to understand that he was never far right. That man was a leftist, and that's a fact.
I agree. I think Trump is about, man, peace. And I think Trump loves his family. I think he loves his family. I think he loves what he see. He loved what he and his family have built over the years. And he want to see them get old and wrinkly. And he want to see them have more Trump babies. And he want to see them grow an empire for 500, 1,000 years down the line. And because of that, I think he want us to do business in a smart manner, where we're not operating with fear anymore. Because this dude walks into the rooms, into these grandiose mosque in Dubai and in other places, Qatar, and you name it, with his chest up, this dude's shake, firm handshake, looking people in the eye. He tell them what's going to happen. He don't ask for permission, and he lead the way that he want them to lead their countries too. He's actually showing them that they need to have pride in their countries and that they need to just remove war out of the equation. And let's find a smarter way to get this done. Remove hate out of the equation.
Yeah.
Let's find a smarter way to get this done. But for some strange reason, our country hates it when they see so much success coming his way with regard to his relationship with other world leaders. That blows my mind, right? Doesn't that make us safer if our president have better relationships with other world leaders?
Yeah, and it's crazy because for a long time, the quote unquote Democrats, the left, were supposed to be against war. And now it's like they want to go full throttle towards war every daggone day. Every time I hear them, they're like, "Oh, he's doing this with Qatar." Well, my entire childhood, okay, as far as I can remember, because it was Bush and Obama, all right? As far as I can remember, it's just been war after war after war after war. My uncle graduated in 99, 98, 99 from high school. And he ended up going to Afghanistan, not Afghanistan, Iraq.
He ended up going to Iraq.
Mm-hmm. He enlisted in the military, right? And then 2 years later, he had to go to because of 9/11.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of a lot of people's families have been, uprooted because of all these wars that everyone has been pushing between the Bushes, the Clintons, Obamas. Like everybody's tired of it. Like tired. And if we would have had Joe Biden and Kamala, we would have been continuing that same cycle.
And Kamala. Why you say Kamala? Kamala.
Because.
And Kamala.
Because.
Hey, Van, you should have Micca talk to your wife about Trump. Maybe she can help her understand. My wife is not an imbecile. She don't need a woman to woman-splain to her why Trump is so great. My wife is stuck on the liberal side for her own reasons, and they're good reasons. Mind you,
What's
she
a
have
good
her
reason?
own
What's a good
reasons.
reason?
She have her own interests. I'm not trying to get her to come over to this side. That's not what I'm trying to do at all.
What's a good reason? Not just your wife, but what's a good reason to be on the left?
A good reason is believing that what they say to her is the truth. When you look up to somebody like Michelle Obama, right? And Michelle Obama is like she's like if I love Italian movies, and usually the not the Godfather, but the older Italians can sit around and just tell stories, and everybody just listen to them for hours, just telling stories. That's how Michelle Obama is to Black women.
Really? So they can sit around and listen to her emasculate her husband all day.
They don't look at it that way.
Oh, saying that I didn't like my husband for like 10 years. I didn't want him to do this. He did anyway, and I was mad about it. Like just a angry, what you call it? A ABW? Yeah. Yeah.
They don't look at it that way. They don't look
I
at
don't
it
care
as
which way they look at it.
emasculation.
That's no way to treat your husband.
Hey,
nobody cares about Michelle Robertson. Everybody cares about Michelle Obama. If you were not Obama, we wouldn't care. You wouldn't even have a nickname. You wouldn't even have a nickname Big Mike because we wouldn't know you. Okay, that is even granted because you're with Barack.
Oh my gosh. That's absolutely hilarious
because her and Hillary are both just ungrateful. I'm not gonna say the word my grandma used to say. I'm gonna just say ungrateful creatures.
Well, let me see. Is at the end of the day, man, if you try to disrespect Michelle Obama, they don't give a damn about Kamala. I'm learning. Kamala was just a lady that was giving them hope that somebody that looked like them could become the president of this white man world.
She don't look like that statue that's in New York. She don't look like how probably maybe 99.999% of Black women look because she's not Black.
Yeah, well,
and they understood that, but since she was riding on that wave, they were willing to ride it because they think that it's going to help them. Not.
Well, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? They believe what they believe. And guess what? I'm not in the business of trying to change somebody's beliefs.
That's a fact.
I can give a damn
That's a fact.
about how you believe anything.
That's a fact. That's why I don't be caring. Like I don't ever care. When they Donald Trump, I will put my hat right on. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. You know what you just now said he is, and he is that to you. I don't say. You don't know what to say. All right. So speaking of Black women, We got to have y'all heard about WNBA players Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese? Well, apparently, Caitlyn Clark fouled Angel Reese when she was going up for a layup. Everybody already know that Angel Reese was going to miss this layup 3 times, but she was going to get her own rebound 4 times, and then she was going to miss a 4th time as well. But
She's going to only score 2 points.
Well, they gave Caitlyn Clark a flagrant foul because they say that Angel Reese flopped and tried to make it look all dramatic and whatnot. I want y'all to be the judge of that. But before I play that, I'm gonna play this Jason Whitlock clip of Angel Reese talking about how much she means to the WNBA. Check this out.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
All right, so I ain't even gonna play his commentary. I don't really care for his commentary too much. I mean, he's cool and everything, but I ain't no big fan. All right, so check this out. Reason why I played that is because I think that was just a good foul.
Are they going to play the beginning,
though?
Foul. Are they going to play the beginning, though?
The beginning? You talking about the beginning of it? What happened in the beginning when she pushed the back of her? Go ahead.
So, yes, Angel Reese pushes that girl. She literally, now, you know, I watch every sport but basketball. But what I know is when you touch somebody, okay? She pushed the girl. Angel pushed the girl. Caitlyn goes, y'all not gonna call that foul? Now, is it did Caitlyn have to go over there? No, but Caitlyn goes over there, right? And so why are we harping on one, right? Because technically, this is the thing. Black women got all up in arms, you know, not all, but the 92%ers. They got all up in arms about Caitlyn, but Angel pushed another black woman. She put her hands on another black woman and nobody said nothing about it. She pushed that girl.
She did. And she pushed her when she was defenseless. You can't push nobody in the back like that. She pushed her when she was defenseless.
Yes, she pushed that girl. Nobody said, hey, why would you push another black woman like that? If we for black women, we doing all this black women. Why would you do that to another black woman?
First of all, you make it too much sense. You expect for them to make sense?
No, 92%ers, no, I don't.
Nah, they ain't about to make no.
But you know, I ain't a part of that, so you know, I get that.
You know, and I actually had that, John. I posted it on on Instagram, but for some strange reason, it's getting away from me. Let me see if I can find it right quick. But you're absolutely right. I seen that clip. She pushed her in her back. Before when the ball went up, she went and pushed her in the back. Where in the world is this video?
So I feel like I feel like it doesn't make any sense because we can call it if, and I'm not saying that it is, but let's just say that it's something. If we can call it out for a white woman, then why can't everybody call it out for the black woman? Because nobody cared that she pushed that black woman on the floor. So that tells me y'all don't care about black women. Y'all just care about black women when it's up against your nemesis.
Well, you already know that. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something because they're just showing one angle of this. It's only about race relations. If they can't make a bigger deal out of it, then they're not going to make no big deal out of it. Angel Reese could have stabbed that other girl, but if a white girl fouled her right after she stabbed the black girl, they're going to talk about the white girl found her because that's more conducive to their argument. That benefits them more. Race relations benefit them a lot more. And they keep showing it, but I'm not seeing the angle I want. And I'm trying to give you, I found the video, but I'm not getting the angle that I want. Dang it, man. Okay, here you go. Here you go. I found it. I found it. Why am I so excited? All right. I found exactly what you're talking about. All right. So here we go right here. So what y'all about to see is before Angel Reese before Caitlyn Clark fouls Angel Reese, the ball goes up from a shot. Before Angel Reese goes to receive or go after the rebound, she pushed the girl in the back. Caitlyn Clark tries to get the attention of the ref. The ref still don't call anything. So she gives a take foul. She just fouls her just to stop the clock so that they can address the ref. Check this out.
Even what do they call in basketball? They still call sports commentators? Okay.
Yeah.
So even those people are being disingenuous. They're being disingenuous. I can't wait till Michael Jordan come in and commentate some sports.
I don't nobody want to see his old jaundiced eyes having self come up in there and talk about nothing. This dude don't like nobody in the sport
being racist.
Basketball.
And that was racist. Because you know a lot of y'all eyeballs be yellow. That was racist.
Man, please, listen, if I ever say something racist, whatever, be offended.
You know, I don't care. I just like messing with you.
See, you are, but you know, here's the thing. Michael Jordan, as great as he is, this brother don't like anybody that plays in the NBA. He don't like any of the owners. He don't like any of the players. And because of that, I'm like, bro, I don't think he's no LeBron. Wasn't
he an owner of one of those teams? Like
he was the Charlotte Hornets, and they was trash. And they was trash.
Yeah,
Him and Nelly. He's one of the worst owners in the league.
Nelly didn't know what to do was part of it, right? Too Nelly, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know how to put the team together. He didn't know how to get them to win. None of that. He didn't know how to position them. He didn't know how to put a daggone coach in place.
Wait, Van. Did you say LeBron is better than Jordan?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, now I'm a preference this with
you don't watch NBA.
With I don't watch NBA.
Yeah.
However, I have gone back and watched YouTube highlights.
Oh my God.
And
go ahead.
Okay, because this is before my time, but I've gone back and watched those highlights, okay? And I don't see none of that crying that LeBron James be doing. I don't see none of that. I need a foul. You like 7 foot 1,000. You like 7 foot 1,000, and you always trying to get a foul. You always crying.
That's a talking point of people who don't watch the sport. And I don't even acknowledge it. I don't entertain it. That's a talking point of people who don't watch the sport.
You can do the same thing you do to the 92%.
I'm just saying it's a talking point of people who don't watch the sport. So, and plus, and here's the thing: flopping is a skill nowadays. You got to say. Like that, you gotta make a couple of gay sounds and flop.
LeBron
and
James
then the ref
is like is like 165 feet tall, and somebody touches knee. Oh my god!
Yeah, you blow on him, he falling down like ref.
Somebody go look at this.
He shot me. They were like tech on whoever touched LeBron. 2 shots for Bron. I mean, it's not the same league, and I can't compare the two. I'm just playing when I say he's better than Michael Jordan. I don't think he's better than Michael Jordan for his day. I just think he's better than Michael Jordan for our day. Like they're 2 different generations of play. That's it. Like I would never even compare them.
Kobe.
Huh?
I think it was Kobe.
No, Kobe was a carbon copy of Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Kobe patterned
much better.
Kobe had to pattern his game after another player in order to be great. And a lot of people don't understand that. When you go and watch Kobe's play, this dude was a carbon copy of Michael.
Yeah, did you see what Michael Jordan said? Michael Jordan said that he taught LeBron. And I mean
he didn't teach LeBron jack. When
What is your
Bron came in
point?
the league at
LeBron James
18,
is
he
not
was
better than Kobe.
dogging out grown
LeBron
men.
James is not better than Kobe. It doesn't matter.
You out your daggone cotton picking mind.
Okay.
And again,
Okay.
I go back to my original statement. I will not debate someone who do not watch the NBA.
You're right.
You can't
You're
just
right.
go
I
off
will
of
stick to
highlights.
my Redskins, and I'll stick to soccer. You're right.
And all these people that's in the comments right here, they talking about LeBron is a flopper and LeBron has horrible
LeBron,
politics and
LeBron, like
LeBron
that.
and
LeBron is that balloon that be in front of the car play.
Y'all miss me with all that, man. See, y'all know how to churn my goat. I'm not gonna let y'all do it today. Not gonna let y'all do it. Everybody talking about they love Michael Jordan. Love him all you want. I will tell you this. I look at the way that LeBron raised the family is way past anything that Michael Jordan has ever done. I look at how LeBron has gotten jobs, high paying.
In the words of Nicki Minaj,
friends that he
in
played.
the words of Nicki Minaj,
school.
That's 6 rings.
Hold on, it's not about that. He did. He did that without being attached to a family. You can do that. When you're a nomad,
oh my God,
pay attention to is gambling and basketball. You can do that, but when you're raising a family, it's different. When you're trying to make sure that you put your friends in position.
Who is raising a family
in high school?
Who is raising a family? Who?
You can't name one person that Michael Jordan put in position.
Everybody on that team. Everybody on that team ate because of Michael Jordan.
What?
All of them. That's why I love Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is the realest one over there.
Say who? So who? Are you kidding me?
Dennis Rodman is the realest one over there because
you out your daggone cotton picking mind.
He said that exact same thing.
Dennis Rodman was a cross dresser on the floor playing basketball. He wore a daggone wedding dress when he was dating. What's your
point? He a weirdo. What's your point?
No. The point is he wasn't even a man to me. Like, see, here's the thing. When I look at men,
and the Diddy party what is he doing at the Diddy party? What is he doing at the Diddy party? What is he doing at the Diddy party? Because we know what was happening.
He was probably been living out his gay fantasies. I don't know.
Oil.
He was probably living out his gay fantasies. I don't know. No, LeBron was who he was doing his La Freak on. He was getting his La Freak out. He was getting his La Freak off. Who knows? I don't care about none of that. And everybody says, see, here's the thing. This is why I do not debate people who do not watch sports for real, because all people talk about is what they see on social media. He was at a Diddy party. What that got to do with his basketball? He was at a Diddy party. What that do with him raising a family? He was at a Diddy party. What that do with him positioning everybody that played on his starting 5 in high school to have high-paying careers so that they can be able to supply great life for their families? That's something that Jordan, Kobe, none of them have ever done. Ever. So they're not on the same level. It's different. To me, it's different. All right. See, why you get me in this conversation? You know what happened? Whenever I start talking about LeBron, like people start leaving because they think they know what they're talking about. Yeah, I don't. I watch basketball is my thing. I can talk about this all day. Basketball and boxing. Talking about. But Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark, people are comparing them right now, and there's absolutely no comparison. They're looking at the numbers. Caitlyn she's a different animal. She's a completely different animal. Completely. They are not the same at all. Not one bit. And I love it. I don't want them to be the same because they go back and forth. This could be a great, like what you call it, Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird type of thing, rivalry. It could be something good.
Yeah, I've gone back to watch him too. He was good.
Let me see here.
Larry Bird was good.
What'd you say?
You just glazing.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and rap about our next topic. Some little girl doing what you call it? Where them fans that dance. Before we do that, we're going to talk about Hillary. Okay. You told me about this Hillary story. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. And make sure y'all hit the like button, gang.
As I posted the other day, this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, you know, what we really need from you women are more children. And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children. And they are talking about, you know, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked. Or medals if you have 6 children, while they're contemplating cutting Medicaid, while they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality childcare. They're cutting Head Start. I mean, you go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, you know, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, you know, raising children. So this is another performance about concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family, return to being a Christian nation, return to, you know, producing a lot of children, which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up. But, you know, one of the reasons why our economy did so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a, you know, larger than normal by American standards family. So this is just another one of their, you know, make America great again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can. And, you know.
Wait a minute, Micca. Wait. Hold on. All right. So clearly she got something against MAGA. And she believed that we're about to go back to the 1930s and 40s and everything. But before that, leading up to that, that's why she started looking down and to the left. She was trying to find a way to poop on MAGA and poop on Trump. But did you hear her saying, she was saying things that the Democrats are actually completely against? She said we need to go back to being a Christian.
No. Oh, no, that's not what she was saying. She was saying that's what J.D. Vance and them are saying.
So when she was saying that we need to go to a Christian nation and we need to be a nuclear family again, she was not saying that she was for that?
Right. So the reason why I wanted you to hear it, right, and play it is because, and I'm glad that this is your first time hearing it. The reason why I wanted you to play it is because it tells you, one, exactly what they think and what they wanted to do with immigrants. Okay.
Keep them so that they can populate the country.
Yes. See, feminism has not only hurt women, it has also hurt men. Okay. You got men that don't want any dealings with women. Well, at least in this country, right? Because of feminism. And then you have men that's just, you know, checked out of it altogether because of how, you know, the data market is and things like that. And then you have the women that aren't having babies because they wait so long because I got to get my career, you know, I got to work on my career. And so that's laying it off. And then you have the women that never have children. All right. And that used to be a small pool of women, but now it's a large pool. So, okay. And then you have, of course, the babies at Planned Parenthood. Okay. That's affecting the population a lot. So with that being said, you don't have a big population, right? It's equivalent to China and their one-child policy with all the nonsense that we're doing. That's why they needed a new batch of, let's be clear, what they think of them, of legal slaves, okay? That's the same rhetoric that you heard during Black slavery is the same rhetoric that the Democrats are doing now. The Dems then and the Dems now are saying the same thing. Well, we need somebody to work the land. Oh, well, we'll count them in the census and all the other stuff. Like, that's what they're doing. They're counting them in the census. Yeah, Ratchet Crockett is down there in Texas counting them in the census so they can get more Democratic seats. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Time
This is
out.
what's happening. So that's why they're upset about those immigrants.
Okay. All right. So she don't believe in Christianity and she don't believe in the nuclear family. She just believe in populating this country with immigrants so that they can turn this country into, I guess, create a better economy in her opinion. Isn't that what Biden and Kamala was trying to do? By bringing tens of millions of immigrants over here
They
and put
believe in
money
a
in their
nuclear
pockets so that
family,
they can go
just
out
not
there
for
and spend
you.
it and
They
boost
believe
the
in a
economy.
nuclear family, just not for you. Not for the serfs, They believe in a nuclear family, just only the aristocrats. When I tell you that she is Margaret Sanger in the flesh, she is Margaret Sanger in the flesh. Okay? Because it wasn't that Margaret Sanger didn't believe in family. She just didn't believe in it for certain groups of people. And this is the the leftist mindset. That's why I tell you that liberalism, you cannot be a righteous liberal. Like, you cannot. There's nothing righteous about it. It's anti-human. Because she really doesn't care about the immigrants. And she said it just in that small statement there. She doesn't really care about those people.
What does she say in this statement that says she don't care about the immigrants?
Well, we had the numbers, and you want to kick out the people with the numbers, and to populate, because we need the population for workforce, we need the population for military, all of that. So they're not coming, as a humanitarian. They're coming as I need another serf class. The black folks used to be the serf class, but y'all not having no more kids. Y'all ain't in the workforce. Y'all doing the same thing that the feminists are doing.
Having
So
one,
they need another
maybe two.
workforce. As she said, they ain't picking cotton no more.
Somebody said even if that job paid $50 an hour, people wouldn't do it simply because they don't want to disrespect the ancestors.
There are white people that pick cotton. I know because my family's from Virginia.
If picking cotton paid
I
$200,000
was
a
born
year,
in
would you
South
do it?
Boston, Virginia.
If picking cotton paid $200,000 a year, would you do it?
I'd be out there picking like I don't know what. You'd be like, "What's wrong with your fingers?" I pick cotton, but I'm rich, man. I don't get. Look, nobody says anything to the Amish. The Amish, they
The
make
Amish
their
do it
own.
all.
They do, yeah. They pick
They do
cotton.
it all.
They do farming. Okay. They cook from scratch. What is wrong with the land? What is wrong with taking care of the land? And it's crazy because if you boil it down, let's just say we're talking about black folk. Okay. It's land. The land is worth more than them dumb degrees. The land is worth more than them cars you're after, that house that doesn't mean anything, that was cardboard. Okay. Because most newer homes, if you look in the middle of your wall, it's cardboard. It's nothing there. Your house is trash. So what I am telling you is it's the land. It's the land. The land is what's valuable, not your house. The land is what's worth the weight. none of the stuff that you have sitting on it. They understand that. The aristocrats understand that. That's why they want people working the land. That's why Bill Gates is buying up land. That's why the Chinese buys land. Meanwhile, Americans, well, I want to get an interest rate to get a house. They tell you nothing about the land. They tell you nothing about it until they take it from you. And you're like, oh, how can you just take my house? Because I have eminent domain.
That's why people want their 40 acres. You said.
Please. If you gave it to them now, the folks then, yes. If you gave it to them now, please. But there's something I did find out. In Oklahoma has been giving for the last almost 30 years to the descendants of the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. So when they say that, certain things haven't been happening, taxpayers pay into that. In Oklahoma, they never talk about it. And that's why I said, you got to do your research. A lot of people don't do their research.
That's because they don't know where to do their research. I mean, they depend on the wrong sources.
That they have a phone.
I'm not going to say they.
They have a phone. This is the best thing ever. It is the thing that's enslaving them and the thing that can free your mind. Because if you want to know, it's right there. A quick Google search. But if you don't want to know, it's right there too.
But the thing that holds us back, as soon as we find out some information that people we look up to don't agree with, then we doubt it. Does Don Lemon agree with this? That's how a liberal would be. Does Don Lemon also agree with this?
Well,
He don't.
If you follow glitter bottom, I mean, if you follow little glitter bottoms, that's on you. Anybody that follows Don Lemon is already in trouble. You call yourself a lemon drop, you already in trouble.
You call yourself a lemon drop?
Yeah, that's what he calls us. It is the child. Look, I love all people, but that is the
a lemon drop.
Be like, let me get on the news. Lemon drops. Child.
Wow. All right, so we getting away from the lemon drop right quick because I don't want to get in trouble from the community, the alphabets. I don't want to listen.
You will not.
I don't want to disrespect the alphabets because then they're gonna start, reporting me, and the next thing you know, they're gonna say Van violated us again.
They love me because I tell the truth.
They don't love me
because I tell the truth.
They love you
because I tell the truth.
Oh, okay. Well,
I tell the truth. I told you, I am a humanist. I support all human beings. However, I just don't support the effery, meaning I don't support the agenda, right? The agenda of putting that stuff in the schools. Whatever you want to do in your private home, that is on you. That's your right. I don't support having those flags in the school. I mean, you don't see that. You don't see heterosexual flags in the school because it's sexual. We don't need to be talking about that. We don't need to be talking about that. We need to be talking about the things that's going to make them be bright and be well. Okay? Most children are not even thinking about that. So whether they're straight or is no business to me because we're not here for that. Talk to your parents about that.
When you get home. Privacy.
Yeah, when you get home.
That's your business.
I used to have teachers that you try to say something. No. Talk to your parents when you get home. No. It's overstepping. It's overstepping and it's no.
You know what? They've blurred the lines so much in schools. It's crazy. We couldn't even address a teacher without saying we got to say Mr. or Miss, and we have to say their last name. Now we're talking about the sexuality and the gender of the teacher. We're talking about like they're getting so personable with these children who aren't ready for those type of conversations. They don't care.
You know
They
why?
really don't care.
You know why? You know why? Because they're trying to get the fact that they're calling it youth attracted persons or whatever. I'm like, Peter?
Oh yeah. The maps, minor attractive
Yeah,
persons.
yeah. It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't like this should be nothing that we're talking about in school. It just is what it is. Okay. So again, I love everybody. I know I live in DC. Yeah, I know tons of gay people. But that has nothing to do with school. You keep your business in your house, I keep my business in my house. Teach the kids. Are you a good teacher or not?
And you know what? And that's whether you're gay, straight, or other. Like your
Yeah,
business
because
at
I mean
home
in
is your
school,
business.
you remember when you were in school, you probably thought one of the teachers was a little but you didn't know. You could not tell. You may have thought his voice was a little sassy. But he had no flag in his classroom. He ain't telling you his business.
At all. You ain't know nothing.
No.
You ain't know
You're a
nothing.
child. You're here to learn, and that's that. Now, if you go to Adams Morgan, you might catch him out. I don't know. But my point is, in school, you didn't know nothing about these teachers. Okay, and what they would do at home. If that's their home life, they choose to be gay, heterosexual.
You know what? Now that you mention, I don't know if any of my women teachers had wives at home, and I don't know if any of my men teachers had husbands at home. I
Hold
didn't
on.
care.
Hold on. That just got me.
Y'all are wild, man.
I love it.
Y'all are wild. Y'all say some things, man. And a lot of, you know what? Something I realize when I see it, and I'm sure you see it too, a lot of the people in the comment section be hilarious. They be hilarious. They're so quick witted and everything. I want them
happen
to
to look
start.
over every now and then, and I just see something. Y'all are wild. I thought I was, yeah.
My man said that his gym teacher, his PE teacher was fruity as hell. Like
Yeah,
Lieutenant Dangle.
you would be like, something in my gut tells me he's a little sassy. But again, and then when you grow up, and you actually, meet your teachers again, you find out that maybe one of your favorite teachers was a little sassy. But what I appreciated about my childhood is that I got to be a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had a teacher, whether they were gay, straight, third, whatever, put themselves up against me as if we were on the same level.
Yeah.
I had to stay in a child's place.
And it was good that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we got to relate. What do you have to relate about? The child is in the 3rd grade. You are like 30, 40. It's wild. It's
Well,
so wild.
they want the child to be able to understand everything about
They
adulthood.
don't need to. They don't need to understand. They're doing overload. That's why the children are on Xanax and Prozac, whatever, all them drugs and pills, because they're all confused. They're confused because y'all giving them too much. Okay, when he may be gay, well, let him find out later.
Let him figure it out.
If the boy is sassy, he gonna be sassy later. Don't encourage anything. Let him live it out. Because sometimes children may be exposed to something and now they're a little confused about it. Let them live it out. Stop putting so much emphasis on something that just may be a curiosity at the time.
Today,
Because it happens to children. I was a tomboy. It happens. Like I want to do everything boys did. You know, nowadays, she probably was trans. No, I just like doing what the boys did.
I understand that now. I got it. Makes so much sense. It makes a lot of sense. Hey, y'all, did y'all see Bill Maher and Scott Jennings have a conversation, man? I want to show y'all this right here. I'm sure you've seen it. We're going to run this right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Like this joint.
Now we have the Trump doctrine, which is, I think, as much of a departure as any doctrine a president has ever promulgated. Because what he is saying is, and I'll give you some of the quotes, is in the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built. This is his speech in Riyadh. Interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand. Now, I got to say, this is something people on the left said about Vietnam. Societies we did not even understand. We said it about Iraq. What are we doing here?
Something about the Republican doctrine that is fascinating to me. I've been in the party for 25 years working in it. We've always been war and peace. I think Trump has changed it to peace and war. He talks about peace more than he talks about war. He's still hawkish enough to bomb people that need to be bombed, like the Houthi rebels. But I get the feeling he's responding to all these new inflows of constituents to the Republican Party. Maybe they were Democrats before, maybe they weren't even political before, but they would much rather hear an American president talk about peace. And the banner in the Middle East at his rally this week said, peace through strength, which is probably one of the most enduring slogans from the Reagan era. He doesn't agree with him on everything, but on that, I think he's right. But putting peace ahead of war, pretty popular with the American people. Well, I was on the show.
Yeah, he got his audience to start clapping without the applause button. Without the applause button. Also, before we go
tells you what some people think. Go
What'd you
ahead.
say?
No, I'm just saying that tells you what a lot of people think, and they just don't speak up about it.
Oh, 1000%. And they're just waiting for somebody with some common sense to come up there and just give it to them. Like, just give it to us raw. Pause, no diddler. But they want that information. You know what I mean? Obviously, they wouldn't have started clapping and applauding if he didn't make any sense. This dude, peace and war. Let's get out there and let's get more peace in the world so we can prevent war and get back to what's important. Like they can get back to their culture and their ways of doing things. We can get back to ours. But other nations, man, they've been raised to hate people, raised to hate other nations who did something to their people, and they feel like they are obligated to avenge their forefathers and people who came before them. And for some strange reason, we have a nation of people that are doing the same thing here in our country today. They're trying to make it a race war. They're trying to make it more than it actually is.
Well,
we're all living way better than we ever have. It's nuts.
And to me, it's the liberals. It's the same group. Because you got to remember, yes, there are certain Middle Eastern countries that are just wild, right? But then you got to think about those Middle Eastern countries and those Northern African countries that were minding their business until the liberals came over there and started, yeah, well, we want this and we want that. I mean, when you really look at it, with what was the Iraq war for? It definitely wasn't because of 9/11.
I thought it was because somebody did something to Bush's father. Somebody tried to
Man, it was for Halliburton. It was to get those companies over there. It was to get in there and get the petroleum and things like that. But see, instead of doing war, Trump is doing it the right way. Okay, what's going to get me money? What's going to get you money? Because if you build a mansion next to the projects, more than likely they're going to rob you. More than likely. Okay. However, if you teach a man how to fish, if y'all can get money together, you still may get more. But if y'all can get money together, they're more inclined to leave you alone. So if you just coming over there, just pillaging and like,
Trying to take and not give anything.
and that's what they were doing in the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of that. And I don't agree with, the extremists over there either. But when you create a vacuum like that, you go over there, ravage it up, and then nobody's there. It's just a fallen state. That's what happens. So at the end of the day, if you can keep your people happy and I can keep my people happy, I don't have to worry about taking in refugees. You know why? Because you get to eat, I get to eat. Or in your kind of terms, everybody eats, B. Everybody eats.
Everybody eat.
Everybody
Everybody
eats.
eat.
And
Until
that's what Trump is trying to do.
yeah, I think he should continue to try. I think he should continue to give it his best of a try if he possibly can. But at some point people get greedy, and it looked like the Democrats have gotten greedy. They've been feeding themselves so well for the last who knows how long, and they want to continue that gravy train, and they'll do anything, even at the behest of our safety. They don't care about us. It seemed like.
Oh, they absolutely don't care about us. They absolutely don't. And it it shows because you don't hear anything. I haven't heard one thing about the Black South Carolina mother.
Did you say the Black South Carolina?
Yeah, the Black South Carolina mother. The liberals, this is why I tell you identity politics with the liberals, they don't really care. They don't care about the immigrants. They don't care about Black people. They don't care about no people, really. Yeah. The Black mother in South Carolina murdered by 6 illegal immigrants. 3 of them, just like Tom Homan said, children. 13, 14, and 15.
When did this happen? Just recently?
Just like a week ago.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I'm sure you didn't.
How are you sure I didn't? How are you so sure I didn't?
Because they buried it. They buried it. I'm telling you. They
Well,
buried it. Just like they're
usually
burying the story about the pardon czar. You know who the pardon czar is?
You talking about Biden?
No, the pardon czar.
He pardoned a lot of people.
No, the pardon czar is a Black woman that Trump appointed that Obama turned down thrice times. Okay?
What's her name?
Her name is Alice Johnson.
Oh,
And
Miss
Trump-
Alice.
Yes, and Trump made her the pardon czar and said, go and find people that have been wrongly either convicted or got sentences that they shouldn't have gotten. That woman got life plus 25 years. And this was because of those liberal policies from the 90s. The people that have done Black and brown people the worst are the very people that say they're there to protect you.
Wow. Well, hey, as long as they continue to give us their asses to kiss and say, well, we're going to give you a check. And we be like, okay, just continue to vote for us. We can do whatever the hell we want to do. That's exactly what we're going to do.
I'm telling you, it's starting to wane. It's starting to wane. Okay.
I understand.
But I'm just saying, you have so many good. Or what about the woman that Donald Trump saved? Just a regular, everyday Black woman from New York.
That stuff don't matter to the liberals.
She lost both of her parents. And she was crying, and she said she was going to off herself. She was like, this was the first time I've ever met Donald Trump. She was like, he just walked up to me like he knew me. Just a regular, everyday, average Black lady. You didn't have to stop and talk to her.
But you know what the liberals say about that? Any black person that Trump helped is a pick me, is a just a token, an example. But because he don't have he don't do things and say, if you vote me into office, I'm gonna have the first black. If he don't speak like
Yeah,
that,
you
they
know
think that
why?
he
Because
hate
he don't
blacks.
need to. He don't need to. If anybody, if when people lead with that, that tells me you're disingenuous. Like if you like me, if you like mixed people, black people, Indian people, put them there. If you like
I agree.
everybody, put them there. I don't need you to tell me that you're gonna put them there, because that
I
tells
agree.
me that you're trying to do a quota. Okay, that's a quota.
That's exactly what the Democrats do. They meet quotas. They set quotas, and it's based off of all. It's based off of all the black women that work with them. They be like, "Well, we think," and they be like, "You got it." We're gonna try to put as many black people in place and position as possible, whether they deserve the job or not. That's where we get the whole DEI hire thing. This,
And
yeah,
and look at them now here in Maryland, all upset. I did a video on Saturday about that they weren't gonna get them reparations from Westmo, and they did not.
they said
They
he's
did it
trying to
in
position
California.
himself to be the
They
next
ain't going,
Obama.
huh?
They saying he's trying to position himself to be the next Obama. You know, saying out loud that black people ain't no reparations. I'm not doing nothing for only black people. Wink, wink. Let me get into position first. Wink, wink.
No, that no. They're trying to position that man to be to run for president. And again, you don't need you you don't need really the reparations. You just need the government to get out the way. That's it. You just need the government to get out your way. That's
The
all.
government, the
But
government ain't gonna,
they don't do that. They don't allow that.
the government ain't gonna ever, never, ever, 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 ever get out the way. Maria, thank you so much for the
Thank
super sticker.
you.
Appreciate you. Candace, thank you for the super sticker.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you.
Candace, thank you again for the super sticker.
Thank you,
Appreciate you.
Candace.
Y'all are so dope, man. Uh,
It's
you
just
know what?
go ahead.
When we have these conversations, neither one of us, at least I don't hear it. I don't hear me doing it. I don't hear you doing it. But it seemed like we're just speaking about just common sense type of situations going on in our country and the type of things that Trump is doing. How come it's so polarizing to people on the opposite end? Who, I mean, I'm talking about people who know better, people who are book smart and who understand politics and understand history of the United States of America. How come they stick to that whole propaganda, um, always talking about things that don't matter, but trying to belittle a side that's trying to help certain communities that we claim we care about? I
That's
honestly,
because they're not okay. So book smart is not technically intellect. Okay, academia is not intellect. Those are two different
yes.
things. Okay, there are tons of people that are highly intelligent and have never touched academia. So to equate the two is where they go wrong in the first place. Okay, a lot of people
Which they
can
do often.
yes, a lot of people can remember stuff. Okay, a lot of people can remember stuff. But once you get out of law school and you pass the bar and all this other nonsense, they don't remember none of that stuff. That's why they got paralegals. They got to look it up. Okay. Now, are there intelligent people that go to school? Yes, but just because you went to school does not make you an intellect, and
$1,000.
that's why you have stupid book smart people. Okay. I can remember I used to have a friend that worked at a law firm, and I used to come down to see her. She was a paralegal slash receptionist, and you got all these degrees on your wall, and you can't find out how the elevator button works. You can't figure out what sign. Again, just because you're good at books, just because you're good at remembering, does not mean that
But the school system is
you're
not
highly
made to teach us
intelligent.
how to think. The school system don't teach us how to think. They teach us how to pass quizzes and tests. They teach us how to
That's what I
cram.
said. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. That's what I said.
yeah.
They teach you how to remember stuff in order to take your test and to pass. Okay. That's what they teach you how to do. That's what you learn to do. It used to not be that way, but that's pretty much what it is now. They teach you how to do exactly the thing that they want you to do. They're not actually teaching you anything. So yeah, that's why you end up falling into that. And then they have ways of especially when you get into college, of saying, okay, most of the liberals run the colleges, most of the liberals run the regular public schools. So you're indoctrinated for what, 12 years plus? And then don't let that be your home life. It's very hard to get people out of something that they grew up in. Most people, and this is just about anything, most people follow what their parents did. If you ask most people, most of them will say, well, that's the way my mama did it, or that's the way my daddy did it, or that's the way such and such did it. What? Why? Mhm.
Honestly, I think that's the way you should do it if that's the only resources you have at the time. But if you have far more resources and better ways of getting things done, and you are not living in your parents' time, then it makes absolutely no sense to do things in an antiquated way.
Yeah, there's the natural, meaning like something that's never going to change, right? And that's going to be done in your parents' time, my time,
Right.
the land before time, right? All of that. But then there's systems and things that you put in place, right?
Mm.
Things that are man-made, human-made, whatever. And so that's where most people are. They don't understand how to get out of those systems in place. And
Well,
if they had to actually, you know, if they had to actually convert to something else or think about something else, it usually requires reflection and accountability, which most ain't got. Or not
you
trying.
just like on point sometimes. I give you every now and again you say things that's on point.
Every now and then.
What's so funny? I'm coming in late, but did you rewatch the clock foul in slow mo? Reese shoved Natasha Howard
Mm-hmm.
in the back like
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds before the clock foul. Yeah, we seen that, brother. She pushed the hell out of her. And but that's something that let me tell you something. Okay, first of all, here's the thing that y'all need to know about basketball. I don't find no issue with the Reese foul, and I don't find no issue with the Clark foul. I think it's just basketball.
Mhm.
I think it's ridiculous that we're raising so much hell about this. I don't think she should have gotten a flagrant foul. It was dumb as hell, and I think it was stupid for Angel Reese to try to play it out like Caitlyn Clark was just so strong and knocked her to the ground and like, "Arr." That didn't
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. It's just like, how basketball was, well, at least how I see it from the old highlight. You back then you could probably like elbow
Knocked the hell
somebody,
out of
all that
somebody.
stuff, and they were fighting.
Yeah.
And they kept going.
Yeah.
Or when Jordan was sick and he played still, like
Yeah.
he fought through it, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have things like that because nobody's being taught to do these things. Everybody's a victim. That's why Angel Reese goes, oh, because never mind that I did this to her, but you can't touch me.
Let me tell you something. Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird was one of the toughest dudes. And I did not know this until I did like a reaction off of his chopped up highlights. This dude got super injured on the floor. They had to carry him out in the middle of the game, but his team needed him. It was like a movie. He came running back out there and scored like 20 more points and helped his team win. I'm like, this is nuts. This is not today's basketball. They going, listen, they break a toenail, they out for 3 games. So it's some soft stuff. All right. So we got something before we check out the little girl, and we're almost done, Micca. Thank you so much for just enlightening us with your knowledge, young lady. We appreciate you. We got something from Timu Obama. So Timu Obama is saying that it's inappropriate to point out certain facts about Biden not being mentally there or because he's suffering with cancer right now. He's saying, can we focus on where we are right now? Shouldn't bring up the old stuff. Listen to this right here, man. This dude they always trying to cover something up.
Thank you, sir. Given the revelations with President Biden's cancer diagnosis and the release of the Her recording, why were Democrats not more open to talking about President Biden's age in 2024?
My thoughts and prayers have been extended to President Biden. It's a painful moment for him and his family. It's a very serious diagnosis. My expectation that President Biden is going to meet this moment with the courage and resilience that he's consistently shown. Seems to me entirely inappropriate that at this moment in time, when President Biden is dealing with a serious and aggressive form of cancer, there are Republicans who are peddling conspiracy theories and want us to look backward at a time when they actually are taking health care away from the American people. No, as House Democrats, we're going to look forward. They literally are trying to take health care away from millions of Americans at this very moment in the dead of night. And Republicans want to fan the flames of conspiracy theories at this moment? No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. 2 quick questions just to follow up on President Biden. Have you had a chance to speak with him at all since his diagnosis, or do you intend to? And then secondly, just on Medicaid, I know for many months now you've been warning about the implications of cutting Medicaid. It seems there's some renewed discussions about FMAP and putting it back into the reconciliation bill. What are your chief concerns if that happens?
I have not had the opportunity to speak to President Biden subsequent to the news of the diagnosis becoming public yesterday. I do expect at some point in time, I will speak directly to him to more directly communicate, my thoughts and prayers and that of the House Democratic Caucus.
So what you want to know is, why are you peddling conspiracy theories about Biden when you should be loving on him and praying for him and not paying attention to the fact that everyone on his team, everyone who represented him for the last 2 years, I think, went on mainstream media publicly and said that he was the strongest he's ever been, the sharpest he's ever been. He shouldn't be doubted. It's all lies. What do you think about that?
I say forget all of that. I say listen to what he said out of his own mouth, him and his wife, just a week ago on The View.
What they say?
I'm better than ever. When he did that, I said, the man is done. Okay.
A week ago on The View, he
Yeah.
said that he's better
I'm
than
better,
ever.
I'm better than ever. They're all lying. They don't know what they're talking about. It was all fake. It's wild. But then he turns to his handler. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Because
I'm
they was like,
like,
no, sir. Remember, we got an announcement to make about your diagnosis that we knew about for the last 2 years.
it's the kind of guys you want to smack on the ass. You remember that? When he said that, that's my favorite one. That is my favorite. Those kind of guys. Like, the man is wild. Okay.
Mine is when he offered to take Trump behind the barn and fisticuff him. He was like, he wanted to take him behind the barn. You don't know who he messing with. He messing with the same person that used to beat up Corn Pop.
Oh, yo. I don't know why anybody pays any of this any attention. Okay. Like, the same things make you laugh, make you cry, because this is just stupid beyond. If anybody knows anything about cancer, anything about any of those type of diagnoses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. No, you're gonna know way before that. They knew. They knew. If I take politics out of it, it's elder abuse. It's elder abuse. They abused that man because they knew he was going downhill, which is why Barack Obama told him he shouldn't run for president the first time.
He did. He did tell him that. As a matter of fact, he did most certainly, as in the Axios. You're talking about in the Axios conversation that they had, where he admitted.
I knew I knew the conversation before any of that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
had an
he told him
inside.
that he shouldn't have ran. Forget the age thing. The man's faculties was going then. They knew. But just like Rahm Emanuel said, never let a good crisis go to waste. They knew that in the midst of this crisis, if we can just cover it up, if we can just keep them in the basement, we can do what we want. And you could just be like, Joe Biden did it. He won't remember in like a couple of years. They knew this.
Thoughts and prayers to the Biden family going through cancer right now. And people say that I've heard that I'm being a little too nice to them. Probably wouldn't piss on me if I'm on fire, but at the end of the day,
Correct.
I can't treat people the way that I believe that they would treat me. I got to treat people the way that I would treat people, based off of my own personal convictions.
Well,
Y'all
I
feel
mean,
free.
there's nothing wrong with not wanting something on somebody, right? But I don't have to act like I'm all somber because I'm not, right? But on the same token, I don't have to put negativity out there either. My grandmother used to tell me, if it's that bad, just don't say nothing. So I didn't say nothing.
If you ain't
When
got
I
nothing nice
posted
to
it, I
say,
said, "Wow, look below." That's all I said. Because I didn't have anything nice to say about it, right? Because it doesn't change my perspective of the man. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but it doesn't change my perspective because I know too much about what's been going on. And nobody has compassion for a lot of that other stuff that other people had to go through. And so no, I can feel what I feel, and I can say, yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, even though I don't like him.
right? I understand that 1,000%. My pastor used to get up there and say, if you don't have nothing nice to say, just say amen. And he used to say
Mhm.
that right after somebody get up there and start singing.
Mhm. Mhm.
He'd get up there and be like, amen, amen, amen,
Mhm. Mhm.
amen.
I mean, you can literally do that. You don't have to you don't have to say anything negative, but I don't have to acquiesce either and act like everything is just a wash. because it's not.
I
But
understand 1000%.
I think they are using it. I think they are going to use it because it allows the other stuff to get out the news cycle.
I understand that. All right, you want to bring us into this right here? Exactly what is this about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is the pop culture aspect, right? But I thought this taught a very good point. This is a baby, okay? She's like 3 or 4. She's a cutie pie. All right. Children love to dance. I have absolutely no problem with it. The problem that I have is I know how the industry is, the entertainment industry is, especially towards children. All right. And I know how they'll have things that can be cute. They'll push the envelope and do too much. And in this culture where they're blurring the lines with children, I think a lot of this is inappropriate. This is a popular dance online. Okay. And the kids are doing it. It's a line dance. It's totally fine. But it's the tight clothing, it's the hip popping, and it's the adults encouraging it as if there's nothing wrong with a 3-year-old named Miss Shirley acting like she's 30.
I want to know why is daggone J Hud feet so big in them boots? Those some big boots.
She was at size 11, like Megan.
Oh, and shout out to super racist Donald Trump for protecting her and giving her shelter for like 6 months.
Isn't that racist?
Oh,
Give
super racist.
that black woman all that time to stay in his place. That's hypocrisy.
It's super racist. All right, here we go.
It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Aww.
You gonna show us how to line dance?
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, Miss Shirley.
Miss Shirley, how did you get that name?
Because I just call me that name.
Oh, you call you that name?
She
So
gave
nobody
herself
gave
that
it to
name.
you?
No.
No. Mom, where'd she get the name from?
When she was a baby, like we was getting ready to get in the car one day, and she gave me attitude. She was crying. I was like, "Now we're not gonna act like this today, Miss Shirley."
That's you as a baby?
Yes.
Yes.
You need to go to the store and get you one of them big fans that say Miss Shirley on it.
It should say Miss Shirley. I think you're right.
She's such a cutie pie.
She's so cute.
It's unfortunate that they are grooming these kids and
Because
don't even know
the
it.
cameraman, I wanted to choke, right? Because even if the mama not gonna protect her, okay, I would have panned to the audience, doing something. I would have panned to J Hud, something. There's
no reason at all you
there's no
should show
reason
that little girl's
to
backside
yes,
while
and
she's
he
dancing.
zoomed in on it.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. Like, why couldn't she stay to the front? I get it. She's 3 and she's picked up on a dance that can kind of be hard for somebody her age. However, it needs to be age appropriate. She can stay to the front. My grandmother used to be, I used to just do this, and my grandmother would be like, take your hips off your imagination. You don't got no hips. Because there are things when you allow, children see stuff, right? And they don't know if it's inappropriate or not appropriate. They don't have that awareness yet. So she thinks it's fun because she's a baby. But her mom is wild because that's the nicest thing I've seen. If you look on TikTok, she got stuff on there talking about you could tell the mother is coaching this stuff. oh, my haters, y'all just be hating on me, and she be doing all this I'm like, oh, bam.
And she got the whole thing down pat.
Yeah, she be putting the tongue out. Oh, ma'am, you are 3. Only time I better see your tongue is when you got a lollipop and some ice cream. And see, that's because grandmamas is like 30. Because my grandmama was like 60, and you'd have got back slapped to diapers. Tongue out for what? Hips for what? Please.
You know, they want to see that strong Black woman in their baby girl's face at a young age, not realizing what they're training
they're
them up to be.
robbing her of her childhood.
Yeah.
You're going to be an adult for at least 70 years.
Yeah.
Let baby girl be baby girl. Let her dance. If she want to dance, let her dance. But it needs to be age appropriate. I do not want to see pull-ups on my TV. I do not want to see nobody that just was wet in the bed dropping it like it's hot. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. It needs to be age appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But that's it's a cultural phenomenon thing going on with the dance. And I got it. And she's in the video, like the music video, but they got her doing something age appropriate.
Question though. Do you think men would see this? Because this is a woman's show. Like, are men looking at this? Like,
you almost there. Where her daddy?
What you mean, where her daddy?
Where her daddy?
He probably at work. You think he's supposed to be on the show too? They doing girl stuff on a girl show. I wouldn't be there. If my wife was taking my daughter onto a J Hud show, you ask where her daddy is. Her daddy is at home. Her daddy ain't there with them. I'm not being a part of that mess. That's just me. Like, so I'm not gonna say that I don't know if she's single. I don't know if she's
I
not
do.
married.
That's why I'm asking you. Where her daddy? If she had a daddy,
I'm
she
sure
would
she
have
got
never turned to the back. If she had a daddy, that little outfit she had on, been a little looser than that. I could come downstairs and think I was going somewhere. We had, you know how the houses in DCB, okay? The 2 levels, maybe a basement.
Row houses?
Yes, row houses. You come around that step where everybody can see you at the bottom. You hit the curb, my daddy be like, don't know where you think you're going, but might as well go on back upstairs.
Y'all had 2 levels when you was a kid?
Yeah, 3 levels. Well,
Jesus.
2 upper levels in the basement, Yeah, DC row house.
Man, we grew up in an apartment that when you come inside the door, you can see everything. You can see, if you open up the doors, you can see inside of every room, the back walls and everything. And then you can just walk right back out. You can probably see it through the window. 4505 3rd Street Southeast. Yeah.
Nope.
Wow. So let me borrow $13 into my next blessing. Then I didn't know it was going that way. Sheesh. Y'all had 3 levels. 3 levels? Man,
3 levels,
please.
yeah. It's DC row house. You know how Northwest that's all Northwest has. Whatever part of Northwest you want to, whether it's, up there by Howard, whether it's Georgetown, it's just row houses. It's all the row houses, brownstones and stuff.
Oh yeah, them brownstones. Oh my God, they so nice. Jesus. I still want me a brownstone.
I moved out
$300,000.
here to the suburbs, and I go home now, and I'm just like, I thought this house was big when I was little. I would gladly clean this house now because my house I gotta clean now. I'll be like, God, hey. My point is,
That
if
your
that,
house now is way bigger than your house you grew up in. Wow.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a blessing. That's a fact.
It is a blessing.
Um,
Jesus. Look at God.
but
Look at God.
yep, but my grandfather is still there. He's my last living grandparent. And it's been in our family like 3 generations. So
Jesus.
mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that bad boy probably went from being worth 200,000 to like 1.2 million.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When they bought it, it was like
40,000.
No, like a $15,000-$20,000 house.
Oh yeah. I knew it was kind of low. And now it's like what?
A million something.
1,300,000.
It's a million and something. Yeah.
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 I know. They
Yeah.
paying 15,000 in taxes only, even if they own the house. My God.
Yeah. That's a reason why I never bought in DC. And the fact that DC, you can walk up on somebody's porch. Yeah, liberals have lost their mind. Your house doesn't start to your door.
Yeah. You look outside, somebody sitting on your steps.
Yes, and
drinking
on your
beer.
steps and on your porch. Yes. 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 Yeah.
It's like 3 of them just sitting there chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the crazy part. That's why I didn't want to buy in DC. You know, but if I knew that Maryland was so blue, I wouldn't have bought here either. Let's keep it a buck. The county I live in was a red county until PG Flight that made it blue.
Wow. So y'all been trying to run away from the ninjas, and they just keep on showing up. Hey, we found you.
Man, I was like, ain't no transportation out here.
Well, we got cars now.
My mama worked for the federal government. We coming. Now, if you one person with a daggone job, everybody coming. Man, why you had to bring everybody?
Jesus. All right. So that's our show for today, everyone. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Thank you, Blues, for doing what y'all do. Thank you, everyone, for submitting super chats. John, thank you specifically. I didn't thank you last time when I read your message. John O'Rourke, thank you. You guys continue to have a remarkable day. Please make sure that you like this video if you haven't already. Share it. Sharing it will be nice. And we will see you on the next live stream. Don't forget to go to On Point with Van and Micca and subscribe to the channel and put your notification bell on. Love y'all. See you next time. Peace. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from 0 to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.